Hey guys, Luke here. Today I'm going to show you the exact strategy to get $30,000 in business funding from US Bank. Everything that I'm going to show you in today's video is everything that we use with our clients on a day-to-day basis. So everything you're going to hear is what we currently use. So before we can get started in getting funding from US Bank, we do need to set up a business checking account with them. This is going to establish your relationship with US Bank. So it is very important that you do set up this account. When all the information that you will be using in setting up this account is what you're going to use for when you're applying and everything. So before you set up this account, make sure you have written out everything I'm going to explain in this video so that whenever you start, you will have all information that you're going to use from A to B. So just keep that in mind. Whenever you are going through and setting up this checking account, you are going to be asked about your employment status. When you are asked this question, it is very important that you label yourself as full-time employed as a CEO executive. Banks do not like to see self-employed. If you are self-employed, you're probably going to get flagged and it's going to be bad juju. We do not want that to happen. So make sure that you label yourself as full-time employed. Whenever you finish, going through all the questions of getting this bank account set up, it will either be done that day or it will be done in a couple of days. It can just range. It can be either that day or just a few days down the road. So once you get approved for the account and you can log into the account, you are going to want to wire about 10 grand into the checking account on the same day that you get approved. So if you get that email the day of that you made it or 2 days later, whenever you get that email saying your checking account has been approved, immediately fund it. It is very important that you immediately fund that checking account the day that you are approved. Keep that in mind. Now, with US Bank, it's different from different banks, kind of like Chase. You do not have to let that money sit into the account for a week or two. It can just be a couple of days. So once you get approved and you wire that money, and don't ACH, I would wire. Wires are going to happen either the same business day or within the next, but you want to initiate that wire on the day that you get approved. So I would do a wire. Once that wire hits the account, which like I said, it can either, hopefully it's early enough in the day where it can settle into the account the day before or the day of, or it will hit the next day, but it needs to be initiated on the same day. Once that money hits the account and is cleared, like it's not pending into the account, like it's fully into the account, I would maybe give it a day, and then you have the green light to go ahead and apply for business funding. Before you apply, there's a couple ways you can do it, but the best way that I can recommend to you is going through a business relationship manager through US Bank. A BRM is someone who will help you apply, and they will fight on your behalf to the underwriters. The underwriters have the bank's interest in mind. The BRM has your interest in mind. They are going to fight for you. So that it's very important that you have a BRM that's someone you can trust and who's actually good at the job. Now, if you do not have a BRM, there's a few ways that you can go about it. You can, one, go to your local branch, have them introduce you to the BRM, and get a feel for them. The second way is going through LinkedIn. Just search up business relationship managers for US Bank or just something along those lines, and just start messaging them. Just message a few of them, get a feel. How are they? Are they someone you can work with, or are they someone you can see yourself working with? And number three is you can use these like lead websites or lead softwares where you can filter search BRMs from US Bank, and it will give you like a list, and you can just go through the list. So those are just a few ways you can find one, but I would recommend someone who's probably later 20s or in their 30s. Just nothing. I'm not saying this is like do or die, that you have to go with someone at that age. We've just seen that usually that age range is like really motivated in helping you get like a lot of funding. So Just from my experience, later 20s, 30s has worked really well for us. But if you find someone else, then by all means. Now, when you are applying with the BRM, because you will apply with them over the phone, or at least in our experiences, it has been over the phone or a Zoom with the BRM. You need to be able to accurately and concisely explain your business and confidently. Like I said, they are fighting for you. They want to help you, but you need to be able to confidently explain your company. If you can't, it's going to make you look risky, and they're not going to be able to help you if they don't really know what you do. So, for an example, if I'm marketing consulting and I target real estate agents, I would say I help real estate, or we are a marketing consulting company who helps real estate agents get like 5 new clients a month. Just something simple like that. Make sure you can just confidently say what you do, concisely and to the point, and also just don't be nervous. Just be confident. They're here to help you. And make sure to know as well what your NAICS code is. That is just the industry of which your company operates under, so it's the industry code. You need to make sure it's not in a high risk. There are different types of NAICS codes, and I won't be able to go into all of them right now, but for example, trucking, historically speaking, is usually more high risk to the banks. That's just how they view them. And things like consulting tend to be low risk. Banks like low risk. They want to make sure that what they determine high risk is maybe they're not going to get paid back. Consulting, historically speaking, is usually very consistent in sales like per year because you can do consulting kind of online. And so it tends to intrigue the banks, or they tend to respond well with the banks. So the data points. And the 2 cards you're going to be applying for is the Triple Cash Rewards card and the Business Shield card. Those are the 2 cards you're going to be applying for at the same time while you're on the phone with the BRM. The revenue that we have seen to work really good is from the $600 range to the $800,000 range for revenue. For personal income, we've seen $200 to $400 work really well. In terms of monthly spend, I would do probably around the 55 to 75 range, or 75,000 per month range. And the credit limit that I put on my applications with the banks for each of those cards is I'm looking for $25,000 on each card. So that's what I would do. And like I said, just do some due diligence, check your company, make sure you're not a high risk, make sure your personal credit's good. With US Bank, I wouldn't apply for them if you are under a 720 credit score. So just do your due diligence, make sure that you're ready to go. Just don't half-ass it. Just really do your due diligence, check your personal credit, make sure it's good, make sure there's no derogatories or anything like that, make sure your business is doing well, or make sure that your company is not in a high-risk industry because you're going to be doxing yourself a lot of money from them. Just make sure you have all these things in place, and just make sure you can accurately and confidently describe your business to the BRM. And if you do all these things, I'm confident that you will have an incredible experience with US Bank. I'm hoping the best for you all. Thank you for listening today, and you all take care. Bye-bye.